Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. Before we get started, you can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com. But I want to tell you, DAI and myself have teamed up with iTrustCapital because they've done it again. Listen, they bring you the best IRAs in the crypto space, period, bar none. Write it down. But I tell you what else they've done. They're bringing you the premium custody account now, which, by the way, offer for new clients an exclusive $100 funding bonus. Learn how iTrustCapital's powerful crypto IRA and premium custody account platforms can help you build your financial future. Listen, they have crushed it with IRAs. They're crushing it now with the premium custody account. What is the premium custody account? First of all, if you're the person who's just been worried and you want to put your assets somewhere and know that they're safe in a closed loop system, this is what the PCA account is for. It is for you. We are speaking directly to you. That's exactly right. And listen, by the way, institutional custody, no fee, ladies and gentlemen. There is no sign-up fee. This is no monthly fee. This is amazing. So if you're one of those people that just buy and hold your assets and you just want to know that there's a safe place that you can be, PCA. That's what iTrust has done for you. And look, I mean, the testimonials down here are remarkable, not to mention the fact that you get 1% transaction fee, no monthly, no annual fee, no institutional grade cost. This is what they're bringing to you. Listen, I sit in meetings with the team at iTrust, and I can tell you to a person, no one is working harder to bring the products and services to you for the best available price possible. I can tell you that because I sit in the meetings with every one of them. They're incredible people, and they've been crushing it for years. My experience at iTrust, take a look at that. Just to go back one here. My experience at iTrust has built confidence and trust with them because, and it says here, because of the professionalism and quick response any question I may have had. And I can speak to this because I have been a customer for them for 5 or 6 years now. And this is what you need to do. And remember, no charge for institutional custody. You're safe. It's a closed loop system. Your crypto transactions stay secure. No external wallets, no unnecessary risk, just a trusted way to buy, sell, and custody with confidence. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you're somebody who's trading every day a bunch of different assets and in and out, you may not want this account, but this is for the person who I know is much like myself, and you just want to be able to put a large majority of your long-term holdings in a PCA so you know that they're safe. And you can do that at itrustcapital.com/XRPArmy, itrustcapital.com/XRPArmy, and then get the code and the link underneath every one of our videos. Right now, $3.22 trillion market cap for crypto, off 3%. Bitcoin holding 101,000 plus, Ethereum 2,200 plus, XRP number 4 spots 201. We're up 0.4 on the 24. We're off 10.2 on the 7-day, much like the rest of the market, ranging in price here between 192 and 204. And don't you know, I got that dip. I bought that dip. It was like 193 and 195. I got it. So I am super, super tickled that I bought that sub $2 dip. You better know I did. Yes, I did. Now let's start right here. Metaplanet buys another 1,111 Bitcoin worth $111 million. They now hold 11,111 Bitcoin worth $1.11 billion. And that seems intentional with all the ones. I don't know, but it just seems it. At any rate, Metaplanet is the Japanese version of MicroStrategy. And we know what? We know many, many corporates around the world are beginning to take positions in digital assets like Bitcoin and XRP now. Vivo Power, highlighted as another one, NASDAQ listed company, $300 million position in XRP. So we're seeing this is going to become a very, very normal occurrence. And we're seeing it again here. $4.7 billion Cardone Capital adds 1,000 Bitcoin and plans 3,000 more this year. The first real estate firm with a full Bitcoin strategy. So you can see it is widely spreading here, and we'll keep you as it develops. So here, Bloomberg analysts, and I covered this over the weekend, and I think you will find it is very, very promising news. Bloomberg analysts James Seifert and Eric Balkunis place a 95% approval odds on XRP ETFs, citing increased SEC engagement. Major firms like Grayscale and Franklin Templeton are backing XRP. No question about that. And there's probably 17 to 20 spot ETFs waiting to go. Chad Steingraber says it really well here, and I want to highlight it. You have to see at this point that the fourth industrial revolution is real and that robotics and total automation will take over. Crypto is your only arc. I believe that this is correct. I believe this is absolutely correct. And AI too, right? So, all of this is happening, a real technical wave of innovation, which does make up the fourth industrial revolution. And where is it all going? Well, from a wholesale back end, let's listen to an old video of Brad Garlinghouse explain where we're going, because this may have felt far off when he was actually talking about it in this video, but think about where we are today while he's laying it out, and tell me how far away we are now.
Because it requires capital to get it there. Our view in the future is you don't have to have this pre-funding, and instead you can use a digital asset to have global liquidity on demand. Now, we build upon a tech stack, an open source technology called XRP. XRP originally was built by some engineers who had seen some of the flaws of Bitcoin and the challenges of scalability around Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin today, on a per transaction basis, it's rather slow and rather expensive. XRP is very, very fast, about 1,000 times faster per transaction and 1,000 times cheaper per transaction. The other dynamic, of course, of correspondent banking is some of the more quote unquote exotic currencies, exotic corridors have been left to kind of stand on their own. And the liquidity in digital assets could be applied to actually make that much more democratized and a level playing field. Ripple's vision from the beginning really has been to apply these technologies in the same way that TCP/IP and HTTP are the technologies underpinning the Internet of Information. These blockchain technologies will be the underpinnings of an Internet of Value, where we have connected devices, we have connected information that will allow payments to flow. And as Norman was describing, if you're a large corporation moving $100 million, that's one thing. If you're a freelancer working in the Philippines doing design work for a company in London and you want to get paid $30 or 30 pesos, Philippine pesos, that's not a transaction that can easily be enabled. And in fact, for the companies that enable that, they require the freelancer to set up an account, and they don't actually pay it out until there's roughly 1,000 USD sitting in that account, and then they would pay it out.
So there you have it. That's where we're coming from, and this is where we're going to. A reminder when we're talking about payments and messaging format for payments, confirmed implementation of ISO 20022 message format on July 14th, this summer, less than 1 month away, for FedWire fund services. Now, these things can be delayed and pushed back, and they have been previously, but that's the date we're looking at right now. So until that changes, take a listen to this here.
Federal Reserve literally posted on their website last night that this will be a single-day big bang migration. Let's break it down on this episode of Crypto News in a Flash. We know that the ISO 222 has been pushed back. What's that mean, and what are the details? With a new deadline of July 14th, when before it was March 10th. That means it got pushed back 4 months. The Federal Reserve announced that it has a go, no-go date set for June 27th. This means that this is the final date for them to determine market readiness for adoption. If they determine that too many banks are still behind on implementations by this date, they can delay the ISO 2022 adoption once again, calling it a no-go. But if they determine on June 27th that everything is in place and ready, they would call it a go on that same day. And then July 14th, all systems will go live on the same day. Because like I said in the beginning, this will be a big bang migration. And if you read at the end, it also says that they will not be providing translation services. This means they will not be using or providing support for the old system on that date. Once the new ISO 2022 goes live, the old MT language will not be supported at all on the FedWire system. So July 14th is a hard deadline. But there was supposed to be a deadline for using the legacy systems, and that was supposed to end in November. Correct. But that date is for Swift's CBPR Plus, which is their cross-border payments and reporting plus system. As of right now, that date is still set for November. They haven't pushed it back. So domestic banks using the Fedwire system have a hard deadline for the ISO 20022 on July 14th. International banks worldwide using Swift's cross-border payments have until November 22nd. Additionally, Swift's annual general meeting is scheduled for the second Thursday of June each year, which will be June 12th of 2025 this year. They could decide on that date to extend the deadline 4 months, like the Fedwire did, but I could not find anything on Swift's website about a go, no-go date. So November 22nd could just be the hard stop date. So to summarize, ISO changed from March 10th to July 14th. The Federal Reserve's ISO go, no-go date is June 27th. Swift's meeting is June 12th. And Swift CBPR plus ISO 20022 deadline is November 22nd. November 22nd could be a really good day for XRP because we know it uses Swift's through EastNet's payment safe system. And when this new system goes live, I'm pretty sure things could look pretty bullish. Wealth?
No doubt about it. And just taking a look here at just some of those dates, and I want to highlight this. Fed go, no-go date, June 27th. That's 4 days from now. We should get a signal on what's happening there. Now, as it goes for all of this Fedwire, ISO 20022, and all the different platforms that are integrating this messaging standard, we also understand this because the CFPB, way back in the day, actually made it very clear that Ripple and XRP could be used with payments. Continued growth and expanding partnerships, virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both payment messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers, as well as proprietary virtual currency XRP, which can be used to effect settlement of those transfers. Now, see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm showing you so you understand that that ISO and all of this business is tied in directly to Ripple and XRP and not just a bunch of hearsay. It is exactly to help facilitate this new standardization of moving messaging and value. No doubt about it. Then we sprinkle in this. From June 23rd to July 11th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., voluntary period testing kickoff for the new ISO 20022 format on Fedwire funds. And what do we see here? It's a message from the DTCC. It marks the beginning of the end for the old ways. This is the future of finance in motion. You in or just watching? We're in. We're in very big. No question about it. And here we are. You could see that. This will be a single day implementation with the sunsetting of existing proprietary FAIM format. Voluntary testing Fedwire format available from June 23rd through July 11th. It gives the dates here. This is where we're at. This is pretty remarkable. Now, with all of that being said, I asked Grok about the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. I said, Grok, how much does the DTC settle daily? We know it's over $2 quadrillion a year, but how much is that daily? And daily, this is the number they came up with, settles between 7 to 10 trillion on an average trading day. So let's run with that for a second. First thing I did was take half of 7 trillion and made it 3.5. And that gives us a $620.29 XRP at half the daily volume of the DTCC alone. Okay, now let's go with the lower side, which is 7 trillion that they said. Let's say we capture all of that from the DTCC. Calculate that. $848, right? And 82 cents. Well, now let's go obviously and have fun with this to the higher end. What if we capture 10 trillion daily and do all of it for the DTCC on a really busy day? It's $1,044.70. Now, how about we go through the rest of this really quickly here? We'll come back. Then we have, it's just the G20. Remember, this is the Faster Payments Task Force, Faster Payments Council, the Federal Reserve, highlighting what could U.S. domestic payment providers do to support G20 and 27 and 2030 targets? partners with fintech startups, innovation, cross-border payments such as RippleNet and Stellar being highlighted here. This is from this year. This is why I've said here, it's just a G20, you know, the largest economies of the world talking about mass adoption of Ripple and Stellar again. I'm sure it's nothing. Right? Then sprinkle this in. Remember, Ripple bought Hidden Road to help settle $3 trillion every year. Well, let's come on back to this and let's go to just 3 trillion and have fun with it. 587.64. Oh, that's funny. It was almost 589. Wouldn't that have been hilarious? Well, what if we only capture half of that, Brad? What if we only do 1.5 trillion? Well, let's find out. We do 1.5 trillion, we're looking at a possible $489.70. $489.70 XRP at $1.5 trillion. How about that? Daily. These are would be daily numbers, right? Now, I know that that's 3 trillion plus annually, but I'm just running that because with the DTCC, it could be any amount. So you get that we don't need a ton of money flowing in here to send this price absolutely ballistic. And speaking of which, nothing has changed for Dark Defender on the XRP side. $1.88 support he had shared yesterday with you work today. He said, we knew this was coming and discussed it in detail with our chambers at the dark side. He says, again, the charts were ahead of the news. XRP still maintains the monthly wave 5 structure. Keep your faith. And shows right here, the C wave can go down to 195, which it absolutely did, right? So that's where we are, and anything can happen, is what Egg Rag Crypto says. Anything happened, the formation's still intact. Nothing has changed for us. You can see 171 is a low support there. So we're still in that range. We're in that channel. Everything's still on the table, ladies and gentlemen, and that is super exciting to me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone, and my, oh my, are you going to want to join us today, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to get into some very, very important things, one of which is listening to an explanation of what happened before President Trump left Calgary and how the G7 used to be the G8. It is quite the message you're about to watch here. You could join us, hit the join button under any title of the video, or go in the description box and join us on YouTube, or join us on X if you like, and get the same video, same price, same perks. 0 Google ads in all my daily videos and extra content we're about to jump into right now. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. Come on in. All right.